What began as a celebration of football quickly turned into one of the most talked about political moments of the week. During the FIFA 2026 World Cup draw ceremony in Washington, cameras caught an unexpected exchange between Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and US President Donald Trump. The two leaders were seated close together during the live performances, and viewers around the world noticed them speaking quietly to one another. Within minutes, social media lit up with one question: what did Trump say to Carney? The curiosity was understandable. Earlier that same day, Carney and Trump held the private meeting that reportedly lasted nearly 50 minutes. The meeting took place against a tense backdrop. Trade disputes, tariff threats, and economic disagreements between Canada and the United States were already making headlines. When the two leaders appeared side by side at a significant global event, every look and movement suddenly carried meaning.
Now we know that Donald Trump and Mark Carney will have some sort of brief meeting in Washington, D.C. tomorrow on the sidelines of this FIFA World Cup draw. What's interesting, though, it's not going to be at the White House. That's according to the Prime Minister's office, but we don't have a location yet for where they're going to be meeting. Mark Carney not only going to have a conversation with President Donald Trump, will also be briefly chatting with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum while in the U.S. Capitol. I think part of the issue here is that a lot of us are looking for some sort of movement on that trade file, and Mexico, the U.S., and Canada are all hosting next year's FIFA World Cup, but also they've got a lot to discuss on that front because the president called off trade talks just weeks ago thanks to that ad from Ontario. That was his excuse to pull out of those trade talks, and we haven't restarted those negotiations since. And next year, we have that review of CUSMA, our trade deal with the U.S. and Mexico. And earlier today, we had reports that the trade representative for the president told Politico that next year Trump could decide to withdraw from CUSMA and instead look to launch bilateral deals with both Canada and Mexico. Of course, that could even further upend our economies, since Canada and Mexico and the U.S., our supply chains are very reliant on all three countries taking part. If we switch from a trilateral to a bilateral, that could have some major implications for our economy.
Now, a professional lip reader from the United Kingdom has revealed what was said during that moment, and the answer surprised many people. According to the analysis, Trump wasn't arguing or making demands. He was smiling, relaxed, and trying to enjoy the moment. This small exchange quickly changed how many people saw the moment. Instead of tension, it showed an attempt at friendliness. Instead of conflict, it showed personality. But what stood out even more than Trump's words was how Mark Carney reacted.
And before the draw was held, soccer's governing body, FIFA, presented Donald Trump with a peace prize to recognize his work ending conflicts around the world. It is widely viewed, though, as an attempt to kind of win favor from the president in advance of next year's tournament. Of course, he's a little salty about not winning the real big peace prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, so FIFA made this up to give to him. Now, Carney arrived at this event with his wife, Diana, and did speak a little bit to reporters about the chances for the Canadian squad. Sounded like he really knew the team very well. He'd seen the team play in World Cups in the past in Qatar. And, of course, the Canadians who are here are really excited to find out which teams will play in the 13 matches that are scheduled for Canada in Toronto and Vancouver. But with the three North American leaders on hand, this is also, as you say, potentially a chance to at least discuss restarting trade negotiations that Trump put on hold back in October.
The FIFA 2026 World Cup draw ceremony was already a historic event. For the first time ever, The World Cup will be hosted by 3 countries together. Canada, the United States, and Mexico will share the responsibility of welcoming the world. The ceremony in Washington brought together world leaders, FIFA officials, athletes, and media from across the globe. It was meant to show unity and cooperation. Donald Trump's presence at the event guaranteed attention. His appearances often create strong reactions, and this ceremony was no different. Cameras followed him closely. Online discussion exploded the moment he appeared. But while many expected drama, what unfolded instead was something quieter and more revealing. During the YMCA performance, Trump appeared upbeat and fully engaged. The song is closely linked to his public image and campaign rallies, and he clearly enjoyed the moment. He clapped, smiled, and looked around at the people seated near him. When he spoke to Carney, it didn't look tense, it looked casual. According to reports, a UK lip reader cited in the reports said Trump's comments were positive and playful. The lip reader said Trump told Carney he loved the performance and encouraged others to take part. The video itself supports this reading. Trump's body language was open. He leaned forward slightly and smiled as he spoke. He appeared to be trying to create a shared moment. This behavior fits Trump's long-standing style. He often uses humor, music, and personal interaction to break the ice. But Mark Carney did not react the same way. He didn't clap along or lean into the moment. He didn't pull away either. His posture was relaxed but firm. His expression showed awareness without excitement. That reaction is important. Carney wasn't ignoring Trump, but he wasn't performing for him either. In a setting where many leaders might feel pressure to respond with equal energy, Carney chose restraint. That choice sent its own message. In the days since the ceremony, analysts have noted that Carney remains one of the few leaders who can stand alongside Trump without appearing smaller. That's not accidental. It comes from confidence and experience. The FIFA ceremony offered the world a brief but telling scene. Music played, the cameras rolled. 2 leaders spoke quietly. One leaned into the spotlight, the other stayed grounded. When the moment passed, one thing was clear. Mark Carney walked away looking calm, focused, and in control. And in today's political world, that can be the strongest message of all.